Good evening, everybody. I'm your host, Crystal, and this is another edition of the 9 o'clock Meltdown from my living room. And over speakerphone, I have the wonderful Amanda Grace. You hail from Minneapolis, kind of Twin Cities area, but you play basically all over the Midwest here. I was following your Facebook page. I think last week, did you play in? You played in Wisconsin, right?
Yeah, we were in Potosi. Yeah, we've been a few different places and we've played in La Crosse, Potosi. We kind of just bounce around wherever. I mean, people just kind of reach out and you say, yeah, well, let's go.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, excellent. And now, was that with the Amanda Grace band or one of the other bands that you're in?
That's just the name-led band, I guess. Yeah, that's the little indie rock kind of stuff. We do a lot of more original than covers, and so and the other band doesn't really tour all too much out of Winona, just because we're kind of at their different life stages, I should say.
Okay. Let's talk about the Amanda Grace band for a little bit. Now, I didn't realize that you and Amber Fletcher are buddies. I went to high school with her, and she is now your drummer, or has been your drummer.
Yeah, I think it's been a couple of years, actually. And it's just been awesome. It's really fun. We just played in Eau Claire. Yes, last Friday at the Lakely, the Oxbow Hotel, which is kind of a cool little venue if you get a chance to check it out. Real intimate setting and really a listening room, and just great. We have fun with those kind of shows because you can be a little more kind of talkative and rather than just sort of up far away on a stage, where you get to interact with people more. But yeah, so we're kind of joking around, and she's been such a supporter, and I feel really lucky that I have her on my team.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. And now, Amber, just to give a quick little background about her, she played drums in high school in jazz band and things like that, and then won the rock and roll. What was it? Rock and roll contest. I mean, I'm trying to think back now, more than 15 years. But yeah, she's a phenomenal musician and a phenomenal person. So I'm glad the two of you met. Wonderful. How did you two meet, by the way?
Honestly, we probably at like a bar or something. We were probably all hanging out and sort of talking that way. But I don't actually remember. I think it's been years and years since we kind of knew each other in different. You kind of know who's in other bands, and I think we probably met through something like seeing each other at a show or something. I honestly don't remember exactly the moment, but I know she's also in some other stuff too. So she's busier than I am. I would say, as far as music goes, possibly. So
Right. Well, I wouldn't say that you're not busy. I mean, the last time we spoke, you have Amanda Grace, your solo act. You have a band. You're also part of a folk. Is it a folk trio or a folk quartet? A folk quartet. And then were there a couple other in there, or is that it?
Well, I do kids shows too, actually, because I have a couple of children's albums out, and so yeah. But those, it just sort of the variety keeps me from being bored and keeps me busy enough to where I don't have to rewrite the wheel. I guess I use a lot of my own stuff and throw a few covers in, and it's fun. I do like the variety of it. The different shows keep me from, you meet different people and kind of get reactions from different crowds too. That's part of it.
And it keeps you from really kind of getting pinned down into one genre too, I'd imagine.
Yeah, definitely. I've always felt like you just wanted to be me, and that was a kind of evolving journey. I mean, I don't think any of us have who we are figured out yet and what we want to do, and I think that's the whole thing as any type of artist. You're just looking for the next way to get something that you're thinking about onto paper and out into the world somehow, and I think it's good to just not think you're only going to do one thing.
True, true. That reminds me, one of my college professors right before I graduated said, you know, Crystal, you don't stand still, you always move forward. And I never quite understood what he meant, until later on. But no, I completely agree. I mean, that's amazing that you have these different genres that you can hit and these different people that you can play with a bunch too. That's really exciting. And now, last we spoke, you've done a couple children's albums, and then I had asked you kind of what sparked your whole musical endeavor, and it was actually a family member that had done so. Do you want to talk to that a little bit?
Sure, yeah. So playing music was definitely a part of our family culture growing up. We just were always involved in, like most people, you just start young and you just play and you sing and you do your thing for community events and stuff. But I wasn't real sure I wanted to pursue it really, or at the time, what I was
Mm-hmm.
going to do in college and during those years. And so I was in a pretty heavy rock band during college. And then, how college bands sometimes just kind of fall apart as people move away. And my husband and I met at Monroe State and stayed. And then around the time we were having our first kiddo, my sister's son was diagnosed with leukemia.
Mm-hmm.
And so he was 8 at the time, and it was a 4-year battle with thing we hate called cancer. And
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people are able to come through leukemia okay,
Mm-hmm.
but he told his mom, he's like, I just feel like I'm sinking in the mud and I can't get out. And she was, they just did a variety of different things, and
Mm-hmm.
they even found some holistic kind of things towards the end that were really helping him
Mm-hmm.
kind of come through it. And we think a bunch of different times you think you're going to get through it, and then it relapses. And
Mm-hmm.
about that time, his classmates gave him some money that he wanted to go shopping and leave some gifts at the doors of his friends that he had made at the St. Mary's Hospital in Rochester. And so he was really sick at the time, and the story is, he argued about it and persisted, and they took him shopping, and that was sort of his legacy. He left those gifts, and his legacy was really compassion. His name meant compassion. And so my sister did a lot of blogging on Caring Bridge and kind of shared a lot of her story. Probably could still find it if you look up Bryce Brewer. That's Breuer. And so really, I think over just thousands and thousands of people came to this little farming community and went to his funeral.
Mm-hmm.
It was a beautiful thing. And so during sort of in the aftermath of that, I was working on this children's CD, and I ended up writing this song called Rainbow Skies, and it was reflective of the stained glass window of a rainbow at the St. Mary's Hospital.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like the idea that these kids look through this window, and they don't know what their next day is going to be.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
People, not just kids, I should say. But,
Mm-hmm.
he was really an inspiration to a lot of people. And then 17 months later, his dad passed away from a sudden brain aneurysm. So my sister, who had 5 boys, was now lost Bryce and then her husband. And so that was just a whole other journey into songwriting. And I did some songs on my Embrace CD for them. And then a local person here that I met was writing poetry, and we wrote a couple of songs together on there too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So close collaborations can happen kind of anywhere, but yeah, sort of the story of difficulty, I guess, is a lot of what some of those albums, especially at the beginning, have been about.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. I am sorry to hear that, and my condolences, for what it's worth. So, have you always kind of been a lyricist? I mean, have you always wanted to write and perform music, or did that kind of come later? I mean, you had mentioned that you were in a college rock band.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I've always been. I think I started songwriting on the piano.
Okay.
And I don't really, think about the process that much as far as how it happens, but I usually get an idea. First for me is always at the beginning was self-expression. What do I want to? So music has been my therapy
Hmm.
since I was very young, and it's just so we all need some sort of art as medium to help us express ourselves in a healthy way. And so I don't really know. Sometimes the lyrics come first, but sometimes it's just the music, and then you kind of come back later and with your notebook and figure it out.
Wonderful, wonderful. Do you write any poetry? You had mentioned you got together with a poet and wrote a couple songs.
Sometimes, but not, you know,
Hmm.
not intentionally, I guess. That's sort of just a song is a poem, and I mean, just how you want to look at it. But this and these collaborations were kind of a special thing. One of them
Hmm.
was about she wrote a poem about overcoming breast cancer, and so that one is called "You Can Win," and that one's on Embrace.
Hmm.
Um, and she had a different poem, and that one was called Pages of My Heart, and that one's on Embrace too.
Hmm.
So it's just sort of just her own memoir of her life.
Hmm.
So it's kind of cool, how that happened. Didn't plan it, and so that stuff can happen, and you just gotta go with it.
Hmm. Hmm. Excellent, Amanda. Excellent. Now, for your albums and things like that, do you usually go into a studio setting? Do you kind of do the DIY studio, I guess?
I've done both.
Hmm.
I've worked in La Crosse at a studio called Sound Stations with a friend there, and I've enjoyed that experience of having somebody another ear to listen to. And then the last album actually released, Rain Angel, I should say, was released recorded at home through a pretty basic um, computer program. It was
Hmm.
just and a nice mic. And so then that was all done digitally, where we would send the tracks out to people we wanted to play on it, and then they
Hmm.
would send it back, and then I'd listen to it and decide levels and what parts to keep, and kind of put it together like that.
Hmm.
Just listened to it a bunch of times, and my bass player, actually helped me kind of co-produce that and did a lot of the stuff that I didn't want to do, but I got to do more of the arranging and the thoughtful, the
Hmm.
writing, the
Hmm.
arranging, harmonies, and all that,
Yeah, yeah.
and the guitars.
Okay. All right. You're not a master at all. You don't like mastering the tracks.
Yeah,
Mhm.
well, you gotta delegate when you can.
Very true, very true. Amanda, that's so cool that you've been able to kind of hit both sides of that coin. I guess do you have a preference? I mean, which one is easier? I mean, yeah, you can look at it in one or two ways. The DIY, it might be cheaper in some cases, but then going into a studio, though, I mean, you have all those people around you, and you can get stuff done lickety split. So, what's your preference?
I think probably in the future I'll probably just record at home. I mean,
Hmm.
I'm going to be working on getting a little better of a space put together in the next few years, and I'll do some other voice type of work and or move more into that.
Hmm.
And I really enjoy it. You're calmer. Um, you're just kind of you're in your home space, so you feel totally chill.
Hmm.
And you can. I think a huge part of it for me was time. I just didn't really want to spend time driving when I have a busy life, and I
Right.
just wanted to be able to get it done when I could, and that was just a good option for me.
Mm-hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Amanda, you had mentioned before that you've got kids and a husband and a dog, I believe as well. How do you balance all of that and then a musical career as well? I mean, I've been following your Facebook page and your own personal page as well, and holy cow, girl, did you have a lot going on?
I don't know. I am tired. I will say that, but I don't even know if it's about balance. I think it's more for me about priority, and
Hmm.
I actually do put myself first beyond all that other stuff, and I do keep I do have faith, and I take care of that, and I take
Hmm.
care of myself, my mind, body, and spirit, and then after that, it's what's got to happen in the day, and sort of I look at it like that, and I think everybody's busy, but I do know that that list never goes away,
Hmm.
so you have to decide, what it's going to be. For me, family comes first. As much as I love music and stuff, I love my family. I love doing stuff outside. I love being active in some different activities and skiing and biking and running, and I love that stuff too. So that is a huge part of who I am, and even if as much a musician as I am just an outdoor enthusiast.
Well, you're in the right
I
state
just
for it.
love that stuff. So that's very passionate about all that other stuff. So yeah, kind of just a day at a time approach. Right now, I'm not in project mode, and it's my skin's crawling a little bit because I've recorded 2 albums and released them in less than 12 months, and so now I'm like, what do I do now? So I'm trying to get myself to enjoy the down and work on some writing and there's plenty to do with booking and promoting and all that stuff too. So
Right. And now, do you take the kind of booking and promoting into your own hands as well?
I do for the most part for local stuff. Yeah. I mean, because by the time you tell somebody your schedule, it just doesn't seem to save any time, but sometimes you can get some people, and you get lucky, and people ask you for dates and shows, so that happens, and that's awesome too. So just kind of a little bit of both. And if I do any tours, I do have a couple of friends that put those together, and those are nice to have that string a few together, so you can kind of go out and back. And I don't know if I'll be doing any touring this too far out this next year, but probably the year after I'll pick it up again. I'm just kind of in rebalancing mode, or however you want to say it.
Right. You're in relax mode.
I am. Yeah, I'm trying to really it's a marathon pace. Don't want to burn out because it's a lot of work.
Well, right, and winter is coming as well. So, I applaud people that travel in winter because I only do home and work, and that's it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It can be quite. Yeah. I came home last winter from a show. I had 2, I think, like a release show in November, and then something the next morning. I had this big snowstorm, and my windshield wiper flew off, and I was not in a good place.
Oh no!
And thankfully, I got pulled off, and someone helped me in this snowstorm, and I was able to purchase a new one and get it on and check my tires and all that stuff. But it was definitely. Usually I have people with me, but I was by myself too, so it's a little bit like, ugh.
Eek.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you're here talking to me.
Yeah.
So, when you usually go out on tours, do you usually take the group with you? I mean, is that usually how you do it, or is it mainly a solo?
Family, husband, or whoever can make it from the band. We don't do long runs or anything like that. We just go out and do usually a solo show and can't come back. But they all have family too, and so that's usually, as far as the more tour tours, it would just be me and my husband, probably.
Yeah. Good for you. Amanda, I applaud everything that you do. I mean, even though you said you were up at 4 o'clock this morning, thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule to talk to me this evening.
Oh, I'm a lucky one. Thank you for having me.
Not a problem at all. Not a problem at all. But no, I applaud for all the things that you do. You have 3 different musical acts going on. You have a family. It sounds like you've kind of made music a career as well, and that's a balancing act in itself. Yeah, what else do you have going on? I mean, besides hitting kind of relaxing mode and maybe disappearing for a few months.
Not a whole ton. I'm going to be doing some more creative stuff. I'm going to put together a better studio, so I'm kind of working on my work environment at home. And I'm studying right now. I'm self-studying to increase my experience because I have some already. I've done for about 5 years. I'm going to do some more voiceover work.
Ooh.
So I'm kind of excited about that.
Okay.
And so whether that's audiobooks or whatever, so I'm going to be kind of taking in hopefully some jobs for that. Probably freelance, just because it's going to be, I don't know how many hours I can actually do that a day plus
Mhm.
all the music stuff. So
Mhm.
we'll
Right,
see.
right.
We'll see
Mhm.
how it goes. I think I'm just working on writing and performing
Mhm.
and whatnot.
Perfect, perfect. Voiceover work. That's a new one on me. I mean, I know what it is. It's, people that lend their voices to cartoon characters or, audiobooks or there's a gamut of things now, especially with the internet. But I don't think I've ever talked to anyone who's actually going to do voiceover work. That's
Well, you
very
probably could
cool.
do it because you do have your own radio,
Well,
podcast. You
true.
probably could you have a crystal voice,
Mhm. Well, thank you very much. So,
you could do it. No, it's
mhm.
just little ads. I mean, sometimes it's local stuff, and sometimes
Uh-huh.
it's more. If I'm lucky, maybe I'll get some more national ads. It's just
Mhm.
it's just acting with your voice, and I'm studying up on it, and
Mhm.
I'm trying to get some more of my own little presence online, and
Mhm.
we'll see. I mean, it's definitely something I'm dabbling into, and it doesn't grow any faster than a music career, so it
Well,
will be a while.
you have both. You're working with both right now, so that's a pretty good pot to have. Definitely
And I'd
interesting. Yeah.
also like to do. I'm actually gonna look. I have a or a communication degree and focus on and speech, and so
Okay.
I've been doing a couple of those too. So I'm going to be looking into doing more inspirational type of speeches for kids and schools, and I love that stuff. I just
Mhm.
don't always get all the reaching out to get the word out about it, but
Oh, okay. Mhm. Mhm.
I do writing conferences as well for youth in the spring. So we do a songwriting class
Mhm.
and talk about give them some ideas on how to write a song, and then we usually try to write a song before we leave the class.
Mhm.
And so those are really cool conferences to do as well. I
Mhm.
feel really lucky to be able to have done those for probably 10 years
Oh, wow.
almost.
Good for you. Is that through like a community outreach program or?
Yeah, some cooperatives and the school organizations that put these together. They usually put a bunch of schools together,
Mhm.
and they do that, and like usually kind of a creative. So who's ever in the creative field, you might even apply for some of it yourself if you want to talk about your podcast, actually, because
Mhm.
that's the kind of stuff they really like to learn about,
Oh,
and
okay.
it's just teaching the kids what you do, and then sharing your craft and giving them something they can
Mhm.
walk away with and be inspired by.
Oh, excellent, excellent. Amanda, thank you. I will take that into
Yeah, you should.
consideration. Yeah.
You really should, because I think it's cool you're a podcast.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you, thank you. All right. So, Amanda, you just released two albums, and was that kind of back to back? I mean, was that the plan to release two albums?
Not, I think, well, I should just back up. I think Music Makes It Right, the second children's CD, it's kind of a coloring book, lyric book, and a CD at the back. But
Mm.
that one has been in the hopper for a while, and it was just time. It was just literally like, I think I had to have Kickstarter, so people had given me a little money at the beginning to get going on it, and then I just kind of got distracted by these other projects I wanted to get done. So then I finally realized I need to do it, finish writing these songs, and now it's done. I'm really happy with it.
Mhm.
The kids are liking it, adults are liking it. That's all you can hope for is you're making music that doesn't drive the parents crazy. It's like overarching goal.
Yeah.
Because they're already crazy enough. So
Okay, all right. So no Baby Shark.
yeah, no, so against that stuff.
Oh, my cousin has a wee one, and yes, over last Thanksgiving, which of course was now a year ago, but yeah, I got lots of Baby Shark, and
Oh yeah,
whew, yep.
it's rough.
Mm-hmm.
It's rough. It's kind of like going back to Barney. Some people remember Barney.
Yeah,
I never
true.
let my kids watch that stuff. I was like, this is gonna really this might mess them up long term. I don't know. No, I'm just kidding. It's like I didn't.
I
Sesame Street, kind
yeah
of all the way.
yeah.
But
I watched Barney as a kid and Sesame Street.
like you turned out right. You turned out right. You have your own podcast.
Yeah, I turned out fine.
Okay, all right, all right. But
Mhm.
the Rain Angel was in November, and so
Mhm.
the Music Makes It Right was in May. The
Mhm.
Rain Angel was, that one was recorded over the summer. So it was more, well, I didn't know I was going to put them, like, release them within that distance of each other. But I'm glad I did. I'm glad I got it done. And I felt relieved knowing that, especially that children's one was done, because
Right.
I really felt like I owed it to the people that supported me to get it done, so.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that feels good.
Good. Amanda, I can learn a lot from you about just getting projects done and getting shit done.
Not the next few months, but
Well, everyone deserves to hibernate in the winter.
yes, starting early.
Oh, excellent, excellent. Well, Amanda, if somebody's interested in your music or to get a hold of you to book a show or maybe get some voiceover work done from you, how can they do that?
You can contact me right through my website, which is musicbyamandagrace.com. And there's also links at the bottom for, Facebook follows, Instagram, all that stuff. And so, yeah, they can kind of see the different projects. You can click on the albums and listen to the full songs. And then there's a lot of little links to the stores, like your streaming stores, your Amazon or iTunes. And then I think I'm going to do a full special on my new, it's from last year, but these Amanda Grace winter hats. They're really, really nice quality. The company makes them they're out of Moorhead, I believe. And they're really nice. My friend helped design them, and so if you're interested, check that out. You can get one of the new CDs, $5 off and a hat, so.
All right.
Yeah, check it out.
Wonderful. I'll definitely put a link up as well. Now, don't you have something a little bit more odd? Don't you have like a onesie or a bib or something like that?
There are a couple of onesies left. They're really they're navy blue, and they're with the Trains, Cars, and Trip to Marcy's, which was that CD that my nephew song is on. And that one is really good for early and up to early elementary kids. I would say the ending has lullabies, so for babies it's calming. And travel, that's kind of a one to throw in when you're traveling with kids.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, there's a few of those left, and there's a few T-shirts, toddler T-shirts and stuff. But I don't have a ton of T-shirts in stock right now, just a few.
Excellent. And now, Amanda, I guess just to talk a little bit of the business side of things, I mean, for merchandise and stuff, you usually have to outsource a lot of that. Have you found kind of some local people to print those up for you, or do you go through a bigger company?
It's like CDs and stuff. I go through Minneapolis company called Copycats. So they're really great about keeping your costs low enough to where, because a lot of times you give CDs away and not that CD sales are really down. So yeah, I mean it's a rough go for this whole streaming thing. But then there are those people that are like, nope, I like a CD. I still do both. I still listen to CDs and I stream music, so it just kind of depends on prefers. But
yeah,
I still buy CDs. I just ordered two new. I needed Keeping Hearts and I think Rain Angel again. So I just ordered some CDs for a conference next month. So
excellent.
Yeah, they still sell, so you have to have them around.
Yeah, and I mean, I ran
just not tons of them.
No, I can attest to that. I ran a merch table for a band here in town for many years, and CDs are the thing that catches people's attention, but it's the download card that you sell, for a little bit less than the CD that kind of makes your sales back, honestly. But no, good for you that you're ordering more CDs and you've got some unique things in your store too. Excellent. Wonderful. So,
Yes.
so do you do any performances during the winter locally in Minneapolis?
I oh yeah, I have shows booked through about I'm just about the right amount as far as what I want to do.
Mm,
I've got
mm,
probably each band is playing one show per month, plus I've got some solo stuff
mhm.
through January. And
Oh my
they're
goodness.
so yeah, I'll still take shows all winter. I still
Mhm.
perform. I just
Yeah.
mean as far as I'm hibernating as far as recording. That's probably a better way of saying it. 'Cause,
Okay, you're hibernating from recording.
yeah, I'm trying to not.
Mhm, mhm.
It's an expensive addiction.
Oh, hey, it can be. It can be. I've been slowly collecting things for the last 5 years, and yes, it is a very expensive hobby.
For sure.
Very expensive hobby. Amanda, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to talk with me and share your experiences and share your music with us. And if people are interested, they can reach out to you. You've got Amanda Grace up on Facebook, your music page there. You've got all your events and some fun photos as well. So thank you very much so much. I do apologize that I caught you during sleepy time here.
Well,
But
it is the 9 o'clock meltdown, so we're good.
it
Like
is.
it's accurate.
It is very accurate, very accurate. Yeah, right before we went on, you said it's my 7 o'clock meltdown. I'm like, well, I still have an hour left, so I'm good. Anyway, all right, Amanda, thank you so much. Good luck with your performances that have got going on. I'm super excited to see what you have in the future. Good luck with your voiceover work, and keep me posted on that as well. That's an exciting endeavor.
Yeah, I will. I appreciate the thoughtfulness and your persistence and working out time out to get on the phone. So thank you so much.
Yeah, of course. Amanda, thank you. Have a great night.
Okay, thanks. Bye.
Mm-hmm. Bye.